This was a shock. Nobody prepared me for this. Hello, what's up, you guys? Um, Welcome to my channel, and if you're here, obviously you've seen the title of the video, and I'm gonna be telling you my experience and things I wish I knew as a black lady before moving to Canada. So just a little backstory. I moved to Canada in the beginning of this year. Yeah, I left home on January 1st, so right after New Year, during New Year, and I arrived in Canada on the 2nd of January, and it has been 8 months and a couple of weeks or days, something like that. And so yeah, I have a few things that were really like, oh, okay, I wish I knew this before I came. So yeah, so just sharing my experience and things I wish I knew. If you see me looking down, just know that I'm looking at my notes because I wrote things down so that I don't forget. So first thing first, I came during January. It was during the winter. First thing is the weather. Oh my god, you know how they say like, oh, Canada is cold and all that, and you're like, okay, but like, how cold is it? Nobody prepares you for that. It's actually very cold. And I go to UBC, so I study in Vancouver, and people are usually like, okay, Vancouver isn't that cold, it's just like rainy. It's probably not as cold as like other regions or other provinces in Canada, but compared to like where I'm from, Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, 30 degrees to like 14. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. It was cold. It was cold. I was freezing. So it's actually very cold. And so if you are planning to come to Canada, whether it's Vancouver or other provinces, just get prepared for the cold. Carry warm clothes. Carry I don't think you should buy winter jackets back home, at least like in Tanzania, or in, like, you should definitely carry some, but like I'm not sure they'll be sustainable for how cold it actually is. But yeah, definitely have some warm clothes, socks, hats, all that, all the things that you might need to prepare yourself for the cold. That's the first thing. The second thing is phone plan. This was new. So like, at least I knew this because I had a friend and she was telling me like, oh, okay, when you get here you have to get a phone plan and all that. Back home, you know, like you get a voucher. And you're like, oh, so like you add your credit on your phone as you go. Over here, that's not how things work, baby. Things are different. So over here, you actually have to get a phone plan, and the phone plan is tusikitike kidogo. It's expensive. It's expensive. So the first phone plan I got when I got here, I won't mention the company name, but basically it was 50 $50 a month converted to T shillings per month for a phone plan. Okay, so it was $50 a month, and it was unlimited call time, so you can call anyone, everyone within Canada, unlimited texts throughout Canada, and I believe it was 4 gigabytes of data. 4 gigabytes for $50. Laki moja ya Tanzania kwa GB 4. I had to brace myself. I was like, okay, this is how things work over here. But the good thing is, like, I lived on campus. I still live on campus, so at least like throughout UBC campus there's like UBC secure and UBC visitor, so you can actually use the Wi-Fi, so it's not that deep. So I used my Wi-Fi. The only time that I needed that I actually use my data is when I'm outside campus. So like, let's say going to town, I need my phone to, like, because I don't know places, so I need to use maps and all that. So that's when you actually need your phone. And yeah, that's when I use my data for the most part. But yeah, it's expensive. And I feel like that's kind of like the cheapest. I think the cheapest is 45 gigs a month or so. That's like not exactly the cheapest. You can definitely get cheaper options, but it's like the kind of like more affordable and like good or strong data that it's like it connects like throughout Canada or like throughout the place that you are. So I kind of like the good deal. So yeah. Another thing I wish I knew. Oof. This was a shock. Nobody prepared me for this. Taxes. Taxes. Kodi. Ha! You know, back home, yeah, you used to like, if things are written, like you go to the supermarket and it's 2,000 T shillings. You go to the cashier, you pay 2,000 shillings. You're done. You're out. Not over here. Nope. Nope. If it's $1.99, that's without tax. You go to the cashier, you have to pay for the product plus the taxes. And if it's like, let's say you buy a juice box at Save on Foods, you have to pay for the juice plus the taxes for the juice plus the economical fee. So even like as I'm telling you that my phone plan was like $50, that's without tax. With tax, it comes to $56. I was like, why are they charging me $56? I was like, and then I went to like they send you like a printout of like the breakdown of the cost. Then I saw taxes. I was like, what? But that's how things work. So you actually have to pay taxes. I was not prepared for that. No. Taxes. But like the good thing, the positive side is that like whenever I'm like, ooh, taxes and all that, I feel like because you see what your taxes are going into, like the transport system over here is excellent. I dare say excellent, because back home the transport system is just, you already know. But like over here the transport system is efficient. You see the roads, you see where your taxes are going, so at least you don't feel as bad, like they're actually being put into good use. So yeah. So yeah, taxes. Another thing is, since we're on the topic of taxes, cost, I'm in Vancouver. Vancouver is crazy expensive. I've heard like most major cities in Canada are crazy expensive, but like Vancouver is expensive, yo. Everything, like groceries, just everything is expensive. And if you don't know where to shop, oh child, you're gonna waste a lot of money. So let's say like from January when I came to April, I was living in like first year residence. So like I got to like eat over there. There's like a whole food system over there. If you want me to go into like the UBC first year meal plan and all that, just like leave a comment down below and I'll make a video about that. So yeah, so I didn't have to buy my groceries. But like after that I moved into year-round residence. So year round, it's basically like you choose your room type. If you want a studio, you want a 4 bedroom, a 2 bedroom, you want to have roommates. The more roommates you have, the cheaper it. I don't want to say cheaper, but like the more affordable it gets. So yeah, but like you have to do groceries because you need to eat. A girl gotta eat. I remember the first time I did groceries, I didn't know where to shop, I would say. So I think my first groceries, I got my first groceries from like Walmart, I don't know, No Frills, all these places. I mean, they are, I mean, I feel like No Frills is kind of affordable, but like there are more affordable places. You just need to know them. Unless otherwise, you're gonna end up spending more money. I found that whenever I go to Walmart, I like the math does not usually add up. By the time I reach at the cashier and like they're like, okay, it's $99. I'm like, what? How comes? Like I didn't even buy that much stuff. Like how is it $99? But yeah, things are expensive. Plus the taxes. So you actually have to know that before you move here. Things are expensive, so you definitely have to brace yourself and prepare yourself mentally for that, especially if you're converting it to like Tanzanian shillings. I remember like when I first came here, like every purchase I made, everything that I bought, I was like, this is this much T shillings. I've spent 100,000 T shillings. I've spent 200,000 T shillings on this. I was like it kept on, and I was like, okay, I cannot keep doing this because I kept feeling guilty about like buying stuff. But like that's how life over here is. So it's just that expensive. If you don't get a better option, then you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, so just prepare yourself for that. Another thing I wish I knew is let me talk about like crossing the road and like the whole road system. So back home, yeah. Like if you're crossing the road, you have to be extra careful. Bodaboda anakuja huko anakugonga, like you have to be careful for the motorbikes, the cars, everything. Like you have to watch out for everything. Like yeah, the zebra cross is there, but like you have to be careful. It's you and your eyes. So over here, it's like you're a queen as a pedestrian. A queen. Like I remember the first time, like I was just like walking, because it was during like the lockdown hadn't eased up and all that. So I used to like take evening walks and all that because I was doing online school. So like during the evenings when I would walk, I'd be like, okay, and like I would get like close to like crossing the road. Even if I wasn't planning to cross the road and the car was coming, it would stop and wait, and I'd be like, no, just go on. Like I was not used to that, like a car stopping. Like the drivers actually stop, they wait for you to pass, even though there's no zebra, there's nothing. They like if they see a pedestrian, they stop, they wait for you to pass, to cross, and then they go on. That was new for me. I was like, what? But that's how they do things over here. So it's actually good because you feel safe as a pedestrian. You don't feel like, oh, someone's going to run me over and all that. You feel safe. That's one. Another part about crossing the road, in like I was just talking about like not the main road, like these small roads like around campus and so on and so forth. When you're crossing the main road, let's say there's like lights and all that, and it's like a zebra, so you need to cross. I didn't know that there is a button you need to press so that they allow the pedestrians to cross. So guys, these are the road crossing button things I was talking about. I had no idea. So one day, guys, ushamba. So one day I'm waiting to cross, as I guess it was like right after I came. I was waiting to cross the road. I was standing there. I stood there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, why aren't the lights changing so that I can cross the road? Hey, another person comes and then they press the thing. And I was like, what? I've been standing here. And then in no time, the lights changed and then we were able to cross. So there were actually lights, I mean, like a button you have to press, and then that's when it would allow you to cross the road. Or like, that's when like the system will be like, oh, there's a pedestrian that needs to cross, so we need to stop the car so that the pedestrian can cross. Unless otherwise, like, the roads are always busy. They cannot say like, oh, we are allocating this time for the pedestrians to cross. What if there are no pedestrians? So that type of thing. I was like, hey, I was shocked. I was like, I wasted my 5 minutes here waiting. There is a button I needed to press. Child, it's been a long transition, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Another thing, yeah. The language. Like, yeah, I speak English, but I feel like there's some like phrases, Canadian phrases that I wasn't used to. Like, let's say, do you want to pick that up? I'm like, no, I don't want to pick that up. When they actually say, do you want to da 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 da, you want to do this, do you want, they actually, I mean, it depends, but like for the most part, let's say it's your, like, you've gone to the receptionist and like, oh, do you want to sign this? Actually, like, asking you to sign something and all that. I didn't know that. Like, do you want to? I'm like, no. What if I say I don't want to pick that up? So they actually mean, I don't know if you're getting me. It's like a way of them like telling you to do something, but they're just being polite. So they're like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? That's one thing I wasn't used to. Another thing, yeah. Opening doors. So like, you know, back home you go to a restaurant, you go where you just open the door for yourself, you go through, and that's it. Whoever is coming behind you, that is none of your concern. Over here, no. Whoever is coming behind you is your concern, my friend. So if you actually go through the door and there's someone coming behind you, you wait, you hold for them the door so that they can pass, and then you go. That was foreign for me. I was like, people are kind, they're holding doors for me. I was like, kumbe, it is the standard. So after a while, and me, I started adapting, like, okay, if I see someone behind me, I'll hold a door. Not I was just like, pass. You go and you slam the door on someone's face since they're behind you. No, you actually have to hold the door, wait for someone, and all that. I was like, so that's another thing. What other thing? Sensitive topic to me. As you can see, I'm black. But like back home, I feel like across Africa, most African countries, it's like there's colorism. Like, they're like, oh, okay, like this person is darker and all that. There's no like racism, and like there's mostly like we classify each other according to like how light or how dark someone is, so that there's that colorism. And growing up, I've never like been conscious of like my blackness, like, oh, you're black, because as you can see, I'm on like the lighter side of like the spectrum. So it's like, okay, I'm light skinned, I'm black, yes, but like it was like, oh, light skin, and like there's this like, oh, light skin privileges and all that. But over here, like ever since I came, I've been more conscious of my blackness. Like whatever I do, I'm just like conscious, oh, I'm the only black person here, or this, like, you get more conscious of your blackness, which is one thing that I didn't have before. Like, I was never conscious about my blackness because I'm like kind of like everyone else black where I am, so I'm like, why do I need to be conscious of my blackness? Like, everyone is black over here. There are people who are like darker than me, there are people who are lighter than me, so I'm like, it's normal. But over here, first of all, in Vancouver, the black people, hey, The first time I came, when I saw a black person, hey, I would get excited as if someone has, like, you know, when a baby sees candy, that would be me. Like, you can count the black people. Like, I could go a week and I've seen one black person. One. Like, there are few black people. So, my friend, you're actually like, you, I don't know how I can explain this. Like, there are few black people. The black community over here is like small. I feel like it's growing, and maybe because I came in January, so it was like lockdown and all that, and like I made a couple friends, and they were like, oh, don't worry, it's just like because it's like lockdown, most people are not on campus and all that. Probably true. Like, campus is starting to open up, and I've seen more black people, but like they're not, like, I don't know if we can even reach 200. Like, it's a few. They're definitely there, but it's not a huge, like a large amount of like black people. Like, hey, like, no, the black population in Vancouver, I would say, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, like, it's minute. We are few of us. So if you actually see black people, you know, there are those like nods, I used to see them in movies, like in like American movies. Like, hey, you meet another black person, you're like, that's what we do over here. You see a black person, you're like you have to recognize, because it's a few of us, very few, and I don't know, it just like it has made me be more conscious of my color. Like, oh, I'm black, so they're just things, man. And like, on the topic of racism, I don't feel like I have experienced racism per se. Like, at least, I mean, I've had some experiences where I'm like, you know, someone does something and you're like, is it because, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been more conscious about my blackness. Like, there's just some things would happen to you and you're like, is it because I'm black? Like, what is going on with this person, or is it just because of something else? Like, yeah. I don't know, because like in the beginning I was like, okay, it's because of COVID, like nobody wants to stay close to each other, and I was like, yeah, all about like giving people their personal space because COVID and all that. And then like as things are starting to turn around, you're like, is it still COVID? Is it me? What is happening? But like, anyway, I think, yeah, for the most part, in my mind, I'm like, it's COVID. It's not even me. I don't let it bother me. I just like let it. It's alright. So, yeah. But there are definitely few black people. Like, I remember when I was living in like first year res, the entire floor, I was in 15th floor. The entire 15th floor, the only two black people, me and this other girl. First of all, the first time I saw her on a Zoom call, I was like, hey, I was so happy. I was like, hey, another black person. But like, yeah. So I feel like if you are planning to come to Vancouver, that's another thing you should keep in mind. Because I know like for UBC and like, there's like, from what I heard like from back home, you're like, oh, like it's a very international school, and there are like a lot of people from all over the world. So automatically, yeah, you assume, okay, there are a lot of people from all over the world. Black people are people, so I'll find black people there. No, I feel like UBC, when they say that there are a lot of like international students from like all over the world, I feel like UBC has a huge Asian community. If you're Asian and you're coming to UBC, you've found your place. Like, yeah, there is a huge Asian community, and that's good. I commend that. but like yeah, there's still needs progress in the people who look like me part. So the last thing here, I don't know if you guys want me to do a video about this, but like as I said, things are crazy expensive, and you won't find some of the things you're used to back home over here. You just won't find them. They're not there. For example, I like bananas. Not like bananas, like ripe bananas and all that. No, 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 no. Bananas ndizi za kupika, because I am chaga. Ndizi hamna, there is no. So there's just like some things that are not there, and like some spices and all that. So definitely if you're coming on this side, I feel like if you want me, I can actually do a video about this, things you should bring if you're coming from like an African country. I feel like there are definitely things that you won't find here. Maybe it's spices, it's what you should definitely bring. On the topic of like things you should bring, your hair. Hair care, black hair care in Vancouver. I feel like it's basically non-existent, and if it's there, it's like one or two, and it's crazy expensive. If you're watching this and you're black and you're in Vancouver and you know like black hair places which are affordable and all that, please drop them down in the comment section, because I haven't found nothing, nada. Like, I mean, it's there, but like, you know, back home you'd go to a salon and all this, but like here, I don't know. And okay, even if it's there, I feel like it would be like crazy expensive. Like the first time I saw like an Instagram braid and like, oh, I'm in Vancouver and all that. I was like, I DM'd them. I was like, okay, how much do you do this style? Just normal, knotless braids. The price. Lakini ya Tanzania naenda kusuka me. I'm not trying to do that. But like yeah, thankfully if you make friends in your campus and all that, if you make black friends and you ask around, they're actually black students and black students who know how to braid hair, they know how to do hair, and they do it as a side hustle. And most of the time it's like just like a friend helping you out. So yeah, I found like a friend who was like, after I came and I was like, oh, I need to do my hair, and like I found her through Instagram and she was like, yeah, come through, and she did my hair, and it wasn't astronomically expensive as like all these other places. So there, if you can find like a around your black student union or something, you actually find people who know how to do hair, and it won't be quote unquote as expensive. It will basically be a friend helping you out, and then you give them some money, but it's not that expensive. And that's on another point. When you come here, you learn how to be self-sufficient, because there's no one out here trying to see like, have you done this, have you done that? There's no one doing a follow-up on you. So it's basically you're on your own. And I feel like for most of us here, when you come out of high school and so on, and like you go and study abroad or you go off to university, you're like, yes, finally I'm independent and all that. But like what we don't realize is that being independent comes with responsibility. Like yeah, you're independent, but you have to take responsibility for yourself and for your actions and for the results of those actions. So that's also another thing that I'm learning. So definitely yeah, you're going to be independent, but comes with a huge responsibility. So yeah, so on the topic of hair, oh, I know I'm all over the place, but like I'm just wrapping up. On the topic of hair, I would say also like braiding hair, like braids are crazy expensive. I'm like, why are you selling a small pack for, I don't know, $10? Did you how much? I'm like, while at home I get that for like, I don't know, $1. It's a huge pack. It's filled. Anyway, so I take get braiding hair at home. If those are definitely things to carry your braiding hair, carry a lot of it, pack your braiding hair, more than enough for you. In fact, if you know another person who's coming over here and you need things, tell them to bring for you braiding hair, because braiding hair over here, it's expensive. Like, honestly, the price is not worth it, especially if you're used to like buying braiding hair for this amount of money, and then you start comparing it to like the prices that are over here. You're just like, okay, it's not adding up. The math is not mathing. Like, it doesn't make sense. So definitely carry your braiding hair, carry your hair care products, oils, castor oil, olive oil, whatever oil you use, carry it, because it's gonna be crazy expensive over here. You want to, especially during winter, you want your hair to be moisturized. You don't want it to like break off, so you actually need to like moisturize your hair. You need all those hair products. And yeah, the last thing I would say is, yeah, you learn to be self-sufficient. And like, let's say my friend who does my hair, she lives a bit far off campus, and I just like undone my hair, I think a week or so ago, and I was like, I hate staying with my hair undone. And I was like I started wearing a wig. Wigs just don't work for me. If they work for you, my friend, bring a lot of them. I just discovered that wigs don't work for me. I started wearing a wig. The wig was literally like, after I take off the wig, my head would hurt. Like, even as I'm wearing the wig, like I would have like a minute headache, and it was just not working. So yesterday, your girl decided to do her hair alone. So I did my hair for the first time alone. I've never done my hair before. I've never done braids before on anyone. Like, I usually just do like those mabutu on myself, and that's it. But I was able to do my own hair, and I'm super proud of it. I'm like, it took me the whole day, but I got it done. That's what matters. So you learn to be self-sufficient. You learn to do things on your own. Yeah, you learn how to be responsible. That's like one of the things I wish I knew. And yeah, you grow as a person. So leave comments down below. I think if you want me to talk about anything else that you'd wish to know, if you have any questions about moving to Canada or moving to Vancouver, or UBC related, if you're coming from East Africa, West Africa, whatever part of Africa it is, if you have questions about like applying to UBC, all those, just leave them down in the comment section, and I'll be happy to respond or do a video about it. And yeah, peace out, have a great day, and I hope these tips help you. And yeah, also, if you want me to do a video about like packing list, things you should definitely pack if you're coming to Canada, just leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll respond. And yeah, bye, see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I really want to get to 100 subscribers by let's get 100 subscribers by the end of this month. So like, share, subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching this video, and bye.